Episode 160.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Wanna Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us today Brianna Greene. Brianna, how are you?
I'm awesome. How you guys doing?
Doing really well here in St. Louis. Ali, let me ask you, how's Thailand today?
It is wonderful. It's an awesome day. Great to have you with us here, Brianna.
Thank you.
Right, now, we have been given permission to call her Bree. All her friends call her Bree. We feel like we are her new friends, and we can now call you Bree. So Bree is a former teacher and competitive figure skater with over 20 years experience in e-com. She is an online business developer, serial entrepreneur, marketer, influencer, and consultant who has successfully built multiple income streams that have afforded her and her family the freedom of time to travel, explore, and live life full throttle on their own terms.
Breathe on, breathe, baby, breathe. So I'll tell you what, I don't know what, that caught me well by shock. So you were a figure skater. You're one of those things, you do the flips on the ice and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And what's funny is I'm pretty tall for a figure skater. I'm 5'9".
Nice.
So the end game wasn't looking good for me as I got a little older.
Nice.
So how did you start that as a kid, did you?
Yeah, I competed from ages 4 to about 16.
Jeez.
Wow. So you were always the people when I was skating ice skating, you were always the people in the middle doing all this
show off.
Yeah.
The show
while
off.
I'm racing to hit the wall board so I don't fall down. I got it. That was you. I got it. Okay, cool.
And I was skating by you and waving. Bye.
Yeah, bye. You don't know how to skate.
Backwards, as you know. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're no fun. Anyhow,
Wouldn't you? I would as well. Jeez.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for joining us here. And we're going to have some fun here. But anyhow, so you've been doing this for about 20 years. And how did you get started? I mean, obviously you were a teacher, not real happy probably with any of that. And you just wanted to do something on your own. But how did you get into this 20 years ago?
Okay, so it would have been probably around 96. I was 15 years old at the time. I am that typical, I don't know, the kid that popped out of the womb ready to build a business. I mean, I'm not kidding. I couldn't just go to a friend's house and have a normal fun time at a friend's house. It was let's clean your room and then let's go to door to door hustling and selling that stuff.
You're selling them the lemonade out of their own refrigerator. Is that what you're doing?
It was crazy. And then, running talent shows and charging money for tickets and stuff like that. So, I was in the workforce very early too. I got my work permit back then you had to have, and it wasn't enough money for me. So I decided I'd heard about this eBay thing. Let's liquidate my bedroom. I mean, I got some stuff in there.
That's how everyone starts.
So I was but so began what I call now my endless journey of always having some side hustles that sometimes become really big. I started in the 90s. Sold a snowboard, sold my porcelain doll collection. So an interesting
combination. Were you doing them at the same time? Were you?
That's totally my personality too. It's very weird.
I've got a daughter like you.
Yeah.
She can play in the mud or she can wear a dress. It doesn't matter,
Or do both at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
I did that in the 90s and then just kind of dabbled in it here and there. And then probably when I was in my early 20s, I became a teacher. I was hired at 21 years old. I got a degree in biology. But I was also living way beyond my means. And I was also bored right off the bat. I've always kind of just kept eBay cooking a little bit in the background. And then it really just started to take off in tandem with my teaching career. The more I was into teaching, the more that just became second nature to me, the more I continued to grow eBay on the side. And then let's see here, in 2010, I went back for a second master's degree and just kind of like hit a wall. I was burned out. At the same time, thank God, eBay had been amazing to me, and I was making more anyway on eBay part-time. So it was
no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. And for me, risk is at least calculated risk. I'm all for it. People thought I was a little crazy. I was tenured, a very stable position. I was teaching middle school science, and it was kind of like, what are you doing?
Nice.
But they granted me a year's leave of absence, unpaid though. So I had to, but you know what? A month after I left, I was like, oh, this was like where I should have been.
Right. Well, that's cool. I mean, that's really awesome because, there's a lot of people that, the stories are similar and they're different, right? So a lot of people that we talk to on this show basically have similar stories, right? Everybody pretty much starts from their home. That's not a surprise. It's not a surprise to anybody. The other thing is it doesn't really cost a whole lot to start this eBay business either. And you can test the waters to see if it's even something you're interested in doing. What is kind of a surprise is that you actually just kind of, just walked away from a teaching career where you had security, right? And that's the hard part. A lot of people have a job, whether it's in teaching or corporate jobs. And it's the hard part is walking away from that security blanket that either the corporate world or in your case, the tenured, teaching position allows you. I mean, really it's like who in the right mind would walk away from security, right?
But you know what? At least maybe because I've lived long enough now on both sides of the coin, it's a false security.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you really look at it, you want to go into a school system. I was still pretty young at the time. It was a big school system, but they start cutting budgets. Then they got to start cutting teachers. And it doesn't matter if you're tenured or not. If you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing with any career. You work for a company, it gets purchased. But, you don't know what your fate is. So I looked at it that way. I wanted control.
And you're talking to me. Really, I still have a corporate job, right? And sometimes when I sit there and I break it down, what would I need to do to replace my income? It's really not that much. I make a decent income, but it's not that far fetched. It's not like, oh my gosh, there's no possible way.
Yeah.
You're right. It is a false sense of security.
It's time for a quick break, but the guys will be right back here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Join us for eCom Chicago, our 5th annual 3-day conference on October 18th through the 20th, specializing in e-commerce and business growth. Listen and learn from accomplished speakers in the e-commerce world, including eBay, Etsy, Merch by Amazon, Walmart, Jet, as well as many others. This will be an opportunity you don't want to miss. Network, share tips and tricks, challenges, and successes, and learn from expert speakers and sponsors, as well as the numerous attendees from across the U.S. Be sure to check out the special pre-show vendor day on October 18th live, where vendors will be focused on demos on products and services. Find all the info at ecomchicago.com. Use coupon code podcast to receive $20 off your registration. Visit ecomchicago.com. Sponsorship opportunities available.
Check us out online or on social media. Facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast.
So what about you're a thrifter, are you? Is that where you're hustling in the thrifting stores, are you?
Yeah, and that's where I had to learn because I didn't really, when I really started getting back heavily into eBay, it was because I didn't have money. And so I had to become very scrappy and resourceful and know where the best places were to find stuff at rock bottom prices and how to hit up those rummage sales and take advantage of free stuff. I could take a penny and flip it over and over and over again because I had to.
Yeah. And
that's how I started.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon you started with then? What sort of quantity? Or maybe an amount? Did you start with something like $100, $200 or?
Yeah, I don't even know if it was that. It was probably a maxed out credit card that I pushed over its limit, to be honest. It was, I didn't have a lot. I would go to places like, for instance, around here, church rummage sales. You go to the last day of the sale you could go the first day and kind of pick through it, but I would go to the last day and take a garbage bag, and they'd be like, oh, $1. And I would stuff that thing just full of stuff. And then I found junk auctions. So you'd go to a regular auction, and when they clear out a house or wherever they're clearing it out, they have things that they, quote, deem junk. They go to the back room, and they'll say, you can get it for $1. You could bid on the whole table. So my mom and I would go there, and we would buy the leftover tables for $1 to learn about products. And I could it didn't matter what was on there. I was going to figure out a way to sell it. And so I really learned a lot that way.
Well, yeah. And the cool thing about that is that, like you said, you go the last day, right? Because people that have garage sales, rummage sales, estate sales, they want to get rid of this stuff. They're not having this because they're having a blast. They have a reason they need to get rid of this stuff. So if you're their saving grace, back up the truck and just take it all, right?
Beep, beep, beep.
Totally. Show up at the tail end of these. And I went to one before where it was all luxury men's clothes. And I'm looking around at thousands of dollars, and it was hot out, and it was towards the end, and I was like, $200? And they were looking around, and I said, I'll have my people come help pick it up. Yeah, my people was my mom.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, sold. And it's just those opportunities, you're helping them out too,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you did well with that, right?
Yeah, my people showed up.
Your people showed up. So is it just you and your mum, or is there more of you now?
Yeah, it's gotten to be quite the huge squad to handle what is now Brianna Greene, I guess. I'm just that serial entrepreneur, and I'm into a lot of different things now, and I've grown a lot of different businesses. And so I have an amazing team of partners and family, and they all kind of intertwine, actually.
So are they volunteers or are they enlisted?
Some of them have been forced to join.
Yes, blackmailed. Remember that picture?
Right.
Still got that picture. Come work for me.
And others, I don't know why, but they're voluntarily part of the team. But I'm surrounded by a lot of amazing people.
That's really cool. And what's really awesome too is that, a lot of people are listening right now, and some of them are thinking about starting an eBay business, maybe an e-com business of some sort, and they're not really started, or maybe they just got started and they're not sure how to do some things. What's really cool about your story is that you started selling on eBay. And I know a little bit about your backstory now. I mean, you have taken this thing to multiple levels, multiple businesses and things like that. But I want to ask you, if you didn't start with eBay, if you hadn't started with eBay, do you think all these other things would have taken place for you?
I don't think so.
Right.
And I don't really even have to hesitate on that. The journey thus far has made complete and utter sense as to why I am where I am, and that I had to take the route I did, and I had to start with eBay. And I'm still on eBay. And it's still a big part of my life. But yeah, it has taught me so many things. First of all, it taught me how to be really scrappy and resourceful. I can sell anything. I can research anything. And the ins and outs of just learning how to run a business. I mean, You go very quickly from hobbyist to business owner. And if you don't have that background, you got to learn it on the fly. So there's just so many cool things that I learned along the way that I wouldn't have known without it.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and you've taken chances you've taken chances today that you probably wouldn't have taken had you not had the opportunity to, buy this for a little bit and see if you can make. I mean, you build up your courage, I guess, to take those other chances, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I would say that eBay has been the perfect platform for starting because you could learn all of the different aspects. But one thing I want to mention too is making sure that you get out into Facebook, into these eBay Facebook groups and things like that, because that's where I learned a lot of information and connected with people. So I think that's a really important part of that journey too, because without that piece, I really wouldn't have known how to make that jump to other platforms and to helping people and to know there was anybody out there that could help.
Yeah, we've come a long way with help. I mean, we've interviewed people that have started with eBay when it was very first starting and things.
Yeah.
And it was like, those people are still around. I'm thinking, my goodness, what was it like to physically write a letter, put a stamp on, I mean, it's
I
crazy.
was back in the money order
Back in the
days.
days.
Yes.
Dial-up connection, all those wonderful things.
Yeah.
Had to wait for a check to clear before payment.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, man, we've come a long way.
Everyone's using auctions now. They're all you wanting buy it nows, eh?
Yeah. Yep.
I noticed that you don't have any descriptions. Is that a strategy or?
Yeah, time efficiency. You know what? I have dabbled in just about absolutely every way you could present an eBay listing. Free shipping with the purchase of X, paid shipping, buy it now, pricing high, pricing low, very beautiful descriptions. And I mean, basically what I've come to the conclusion is give the bare bolts, the nuts and bolts, like just be real concise, give them the pertinent information, nothing more, nothing less. So there's usually just a couple, and I think I've changed that because of the way I'm very active on Amazon.
Yep.
And so their catalog is a little bit different. And so I don't get into a lot of description anymore because nobody freaking read it. For years. For years, I had these beautiful templates. And then, of course, when I started eBay too, the 10,000 rules that you had to follow if you were a buyer of mine. Yeah, okay. And I just found that also like some ridiculous amount. I want to say it's 60%, 65% of people are shopping on their mobile phone. They're not reading that. They are hitting the very first, like we call it in like influencer marketing, when you're posting above the fold.
Yeah.
So, that's what they're going to hit on. What the very first thing they can see without having to continue to click through.
That's an amazing point, actually, because you know what? Like you said, most people are looking on their phones. I mean, especially millennials. I mean, millennials. I mean, do they even have desktop? I don't know, but they're always on their phones, and that's how they buy everything. And I mean that's a very good point.
You use the specs and stuff. So on your phone, then the item specs are popping up. And that's what they see on the first page anyway. They have to click through anyway to get to the item description.
Well, and I'm so data driven and keyword driven from Amazon and the Amazon algorithm and the search algorithm that I do fill in all of my item specifics over there. And then that way too, it leaves what about, should I reiterate that it has long sleeves when I've already checked the item specific that the thing has long sleeves? Yeah. So
that's great.
And you might have a picture of it.
That's why we love interviewing people, because there's eBay, there's the system itself, but then there's different versions of it per person. Some people do free shipping, some don't. Some do long descriptions, some don't. And it's what working for you. And this is just another thing that offers someone else another way of doing it.
Yeah. And, I've dabbled with the free shipping as well. And I have found that an overwhelming number of people cannot compute that there's still a cost to the shipping. And so then they'll offer something ridiculous on an item that doesn't compensate for the fact that it has to go across, the country. And then we get into this discussion when they have to make the return. And it's just, have found success in charging them shipping. It's I don't know. They know what they're paying, and it's been successful for me. And
again, that's another one of the beautiful things about selling on eBay. You can do it your way. I can. Some people believe that free shipping has increased their sales and things. So the good thing about it is you can do it your way, and somebody else can do it their other way, and
absolutely
everybody can have the same result or good results. So that's really cool.
Love it.
Well, my favorite part of that too is changing it up. Like, when I'm in the influencer field right now, like some people get so married to their opinion that they're not willing to try something different and evolve with the platform. So that's something I have to throw out there too. Like, I think that's so important, man. If there's overwhelming evidence that free shipping rocks, like I'm the type of person, I'm going to try it too.
Yeah. And you know what? Like you said, you kind of alluded to it earlier, is the Facebook groups, man. Find some good Facebook groups and stick with them, because, there are a lot of people. And the neat thing about it is, I spoke at a conference in Vegas a while back in I think it was like 2015. And, one of the things I said was that, we're not all selling gold watches. If we're all selling gold watches, then everybody in the room's hush hush, because now we're all competitors. But, what's really cool is other people like helping other people. We're all in this, doing the same thing. And, it's really kind of neat how everybody kind of supports and helps each other and, grows your business together.
Well, the amazing thing, too, that I look at is that as sellers, we're really a very, 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 very tiny sliver of the world's population. I mean, when people get all crazy about, don't look at my store, I'm not sharing the link. Why? Don't you want people to buy stuff from you? Like, and they get all competitive about it. I know they worry about trolls or whatever they worry about, but it's like, come on, I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, your 200 followers aren't going to affect your end game, right?
Oh, that's funny. Trolls.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
So, you have an idea, a big idea, and you're ready to jump into the world of e-commerce. Awesome. But where to start? The answer is only a click away. At solutionsforecommerce.com, you'll find available services to help manage, audit, or even build your e-commerce site from the ground up. With over 10 years of experience in developing and managing channels on sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and Etsy, Solutions for E-commerce can help you to grow your small or large business. Take a step back from the technical and do what you do best, and let Solutions for E-commerce handle the tedious stuff like creating, reviewing, adding, or removing listings, setting up or organizing store categories, even merchandising and customer support. Find out why their clients say that their business wouldn't be what it is today without the help from Solutions for E-commerce. Visit solutionsforecommerce.com and take your e-commerce business to the next level. That's solutions, the number 4, ecommerce.com. Use promo code eBay at checkout for an exclusive So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast discount.
Be sure to check out So You Want to Sell on eBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So I see that, so what's the sort of average day in your world then? I mean, do you buy once a week?
Don't ask, Ali. Oh, gosh.
I know. I shouldn't have gone to that dark side.
Do not go there. I think it starts at like 4:30 on a treadmill, but go ahead. I'll let you.
Then I'm riding a horse. So, how does it look?
So the basic overview of my day would be, I'm up early, like at 4 probably. And that's the quiet time on social media. So I can go through all my social media accounts and emails and personal messages and things of that nature. And then I have to hop over to the company that I co-own, designfordollars.com. So I do my thing over there. That takes a couple hours. I'll do some eBay listing. I try to do eBay listing every day, place some Amazon orders. And then I usually have either meetings with business partners on other business ventures or client calls and consulting sessions that I do. So honestly, that's what I love about what I do, is that every day is different. And I have the flexibility to say tomorrow, like, screw it. Like, I'm moving my meetings and I'm taking my daughter and we're going wherever.
Yeah.
And so I have a list, like I really do have a list of stuff that I have to do every day. And then the list of like floating things, but I don't have to say, I'm going to get up at 4 and work out. I could be like, I don't feel like working out at 4. I'm going to work out at noon tomorrow and I'm going to hit this at 4 instead.
Yeah.
So I like to change it up.
Yeah. So that teaching job, that would have offered all that too, right?
Well, yeah. How I can't even go to the bathroom because you can't leave classroom.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I love it, and that's what I love about eBay, and that's what I love about these modern day and age where you can be that entrepreneur. You don't have to work for that bloke or that woman no more. You can just do things yourself and have a little concept, have a little idea, and then, hey, what you got to lose about it?
You know what I love about it too is I see so many people whose passions lie in very, very, very different areas, but they can spend more time on that passion when they're utilizing something like eBay to monetize that passion in some way. Like I'm thinking of a musician that I know that sells things that are related to being a musician. Yep. And then it funds what they really enjoy, which is being a musician. So it's cool. E-com allows that.
So let me ask you this, because I know, your mind is probably, constantly thinking, how can I make money from this? Or, when you talk to someone like your musician who probably just loves to play music and probably may not have even thought about monetizing any of that, how does that work for you? I mean, when you have that conversation with them, are they on board with like, yeah, I've been looking for something like this, or man, I never even thought about that?
It kind of just depends on where their mind is. I guess their mind frame. Like sometimes what I'll do is when it's so hard for me to not share when I see the potential in someone. Like if I meet with an artist or something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could totally picture their website and this and that. So I like to just softly show them, like, look at this website that I know of this artist where he's able to, draw all day or whatever. He does what he loves, but he's got this website kicking in the background, kind of passively, that can fund his real dream, which is doing art all day, but yet it's time. So I like to show them examples of things because they can't, it's like a concept to them, a foreign concept that they can't wrap their mind around. Like, how can that be? I'm supposed to be a starving artist. Yeah. No, like there's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it. And I know that you are going to be speaking at eCom Chicago. I will be there. That is going to be so awesome. I am really excited about that, to actually meet you in person. And I can't wait to hear your speech as well. So for Rich and Nyla and everybody that's putting all that together, that's a big deal. That's a good deal. If you haven't signed up yet, you got to go to ecomchicago.com and get that registered. Sorry about that. That was a little plug there, but
a good one, Ron. A very good one.
They're good friends of ours, and Brianna is going to be there, so that's going to be cool.
Oh, there's going to be so many amazing people there. And listen, I keep saying this over and over again, but I'm not kidding. Like we are all so accessible. Do not be intimidated. This is a thing that I saw in Minneapolis. So many people. I'm just a normal person. Like, let's hang. Like, come up to me, ask me anything you want, and you could tell I love what I do. I'm passionate about it. I want to help people, and I won't shut up about it. So, like, if you want to hang out,
perfect person for a podcast show.
Yeah, and so I think what you're saying is this is really valid. This is really true, because what I think what you're saying is successful doesn't mean selfish. And you are, like I've been to every one of the eCom Chicagos, and people are people, man. I mean, just because they've done something really, really well does not mean they're hands off to you. So, reach out to any of the speakers and have a good conversations with them. That's what it's all about. It's really cool. That's really neat.
So what's the future plans then? What are you going to do? You're going to have like a couple of warehouses all over the world, buy a private plane? I mean, what are we looking at here?
Well, I mean, yeah. I was, working towards a yacht first, I guess. I was thinking like, you know what? I always say this, my goal is to be, to live comfortably. And I don't necessarily have to define what that is. I could stay in the modest home that we still have. But I want to have the freedom to do whatever the hell I want, whenever I want, and to travel and to be able to, we have one daughter, to take our 5-year-old daughter, and for her to be able to see things and experience things that maybe like the average family can't do because they don't know they actually can do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's cool. And, sometimes that's a great point about the modest home. I mean, some people live in a $300,000 home and can't afford to go to McDonald's or, a favorite restaurant, if you will, So, yeah, I agree with you 100% there. Good stuff.
It's not a bad thing not being able to go to McDonald's. So
that's true.
This is brilliant. We've run out of time again. This is getting too nuts. And you're just another easy person you can talk to, Brie. And Yeah, you just got the spirit. You got the spirit that everybody needs. This love and passion of entrepreneurship. I can't even say it now. God, man, I need another coffee. I don't think I've even had a coffee yet. And just get out there and just make. I like the word you use, the hustle, and just get out there. And fair play to you. Enjoy life. Use eBay. Use all the other tools, and have fun doing it. And support the family. Absolutely. So thanks so much for joining us. It's been awesome.
Thank you very much.
We'll post all the notes from today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes. Bree, before you leave us, how can people get in hold of you?
You can find me on Facebook on my personal page. Just type in Brianna Moller Greene or Brianna Greene Amazon, and you'll find me. And then you can find me through our company, Design4, like the number 4.com. Those are probably the two easiest ways to find me. And I'm very accessible, and you'll see me out and about.
If you go to e-com, it's really, really easy to catch up with her.
Yeah. Yes. Just basically go online, put her name in, and you pretty much find her anyway, is what I'm hearing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks once again for joining us, Bree. It's been fantastic. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwantasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter at Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.